The junta has been the main perpetrator in a vast majority of human rights abuses, but the fact that we now have a massive proliferation of armed groups is another problem. Again, ACLED estimated that there are now, since essentially the April 2021, after the coup, there has been over 2,600 new non-state actors that are participating. And all of this was happening, before the dismantling of USAID. And that move came just as the needs in Myanmar are reaching unprecedented levels. My last point is that, all of these issues around poverty, food insecurity, health, armed conflict, political violence, they're terrible things on their own, but taken together and considering the fact that Myanmar was already struggling to attract international attention and donors, I'm afraid we're looking at a very grim future. And that is the polycrisis that we're facing right now.
The majority of the people and also many resistant groups and CBO, pro-democracy activists, they all want to get rid of the military regime. And the question is whether it is possible. Freedom of press, freedom of expression, and the right to information have totally been attacked, and also media and media personnel and also treated as a criminal. So far, the immediate impact is there are around 200 journalists that are immediately impacted because of this cut. When we trying to do the mapping with all the different media houses, it seemed like majority of the media can survive 3 months.
Last year in Krenny State, I spoke to aid workers about how they drove trucks with white flags, right? Full of support packages, full of aid, medicine. Despite having large white flags on their convoys, they were targeted by airstrikes and scouting drones. Those scouting drones called in airstrikes and strafing of IDPs fleeing violence, but also of aid workers trying to bring in needed supplies.
The military is, currently weaponizing malaria, TB, and HIV, like communicable diseases, to suppress its own people. So it's really difficult to transport medicines and commodities and equipment to our implementing areas, so we have to disguise some of the medicines and equipment.
Especially in this polycrisis that the panel is mentioning about, that is how a new kind of normal condition for all this cycle. But yeah, at least this is the only thing we have is our spirit not to surrender and not keep moving. Even if we cannot move it, don't go back. Hold on.